institutionalized racism, an American problem? So the stimulus packet led me to my research question, which is, how does institutionalized racism affect African American lives? I went through the lenses social and economic. So first I'll be talking about racism in the law. It's very prominent now because of all the media coverage that is going on in America. And one very prominent shooting that happened in 2016 was the Alton Sterling shooting. In this instance, he was shot by one cop in under a minute and 30 seconds. He was nonviolent until they began harassing and yelling at him as soon as they arrived on scene and didn't give him a chance to speak his side of the story. This has happened a lot in 2016, and fewer incidents have came about in 2017, 2018, but it's still a very big topic. And also, going with racism in the law, is that Black Americans are incarcerated 5 times more than whites, and 2.8 million Black Americans are in our prison systems today. Also, they will be labeled a felon 10 times more likely than whites out and about, which sets them back socially a lot in family-friendly environments because being a felon is not a good thing whatsoever. So I have a chart depicting police brutality, and here in the navy blue, we see the U.S. population is 13% Black, yet people killed by police, they're 31% Black, and then 39% of Black Americans are killed while not attacking, which is very dramatic from 63% in light purple white, and their numbers dramatically go down. So this is a quote from Alton Sterling shooter. As soon as he arrived on scene, he automatically was aggressive. He says, "Don't blanking move or I'll shoot your blanking blank. Put your blanking hands on the car." As you can see, I can't even say the whole entire quote, so this shows how demeaning the cop was automatically towards Alton because of his size and his color. So racism has been almost 500 years in the making. The first reported slaves were brought in 1619 in Jamestown, and 300 years later, MLK was still fighting being a full person. He wrote from his letter from Birmingham jail in 1963 about how whites just could not accept the fact that Black Americans were Americans. And from the well-regarded Margaret Thatcher in her speech to the United Nations General Assembly, she says, "It is no good squabbling over who is responsible or who should pay." This is a very big topic now because a lot of people believe whites should pay reparations and everyone's pitting one race against the other. Whereas we should all get together and find one solution so we can be one instead of so many different colors on a spectrum. So here are some of my solutions. The very first one is diversifying schools and their sports teams. So this would have children growing up with different colors, and they'd be more accepting even if their parents are racist, since family views are very much pushed onto children at young ages. Another solution is a litmus test, which is usually used to find one's political leanings and politics, but it can also be used to find racial leanings when big corporations are hiring head companies. And then the last is law enforcement talked about tasers instead of guns. So instead of all of our gun rates being so high because of cops fearing for their life, hopefully one will just be severely injured so the cop does not fear for his life. Now with all solutions come implications. And there are a couple dealing with race, seeing as how if it was 500 years in the making, it's not going to be an easy problem to solve. So the first with the schooling being diversified will be very hard because a lot of neighborhoods are unicultural. And we can see that in New York, where there are mostly Black neighborhoods and Latino, and even here in our Oak Hills community, we're a very white prominent school. But it's not just one community's fault, it's just who you fall together, who you're comfortable with. The second deals with the litmus test. And the company heads will most likely hide results if they do come out bad because money is the biggest motivator in America, and whatever makes them the most money, they do not care who they step on. And the last, of course, is gun training. It's going to be very hard to take away something cops so dearly hold to their heart because it will keep them safe, and they will never actually have to worry about being killed first. And this has been in place for so long that it's going to be very hard to just take away. All in all, racism will be a very hard fight to fight. But in the end, hopefully by 2020, we can be more accepting of one another, seeing as how a color does not define anyone. And here are my works cited.
Okay, a couple questions for you. The first one is, how valid and reliable are the sources that you've used, and how do you know, and which sources didn't work?
So a lot of sources were hard to pick because media is very biased nowadays. And racial profiling is very hard to find any substantial evidence on. So I went to big databases like info-based learning, and there was one source from the New York Times that demonstrated Alton Sterling shooting. The New York Times has been around forever and is very it's not very biased, so that was like my one source that I kept. Or else others, I know there was a Washington Post, but they are very biased and being liberal instead of conservative, so I didn't want to use theirs.
Okay. And then the other question is, what are the, no, let me do a different one. How does your conclusion respond to any of the other research or sources that you examined?
So a lot of mine did come to conclude about the police shootings with like taking away guns. A lot of that goes on and on, but everyone does come to the conclusion that's going to be very hard. But I still believe that is my best solution, and so many people also reiterate the fact that it's the best but also hardest.